If you're familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll know that the Blue Eyes White Dragon is one of the most iconic monsters of all time. So much so that even people who don't know Yu-Gi-Oh have heard of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Unfortunately, when it comes to the modern card game, Blue Eyes hasn't quite had that same threatening aura for a very long time. Until now. Join me as I document my journey starting from a single structure deck, trading, upgrading, and dueling my way with Blue Eyes to the top of the competitive ladder. Let's make Kaiba proud in playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly, Season 3. Aye! Subscribe. We are in arguably one of the best competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Formats ever. The game feels extremely fun right now. There's a lot of back and forth interactive gameplay. The top decks aren't super oppressive or degenerate, and Blue Eyes, thanks to the secret effect of this guy, is actually surprisingly well positioned going into it. Last episode we featured a bit of an introduction to the Primi engine, showcased some combos, and of course went undefeated at locals. Again. Today we're going to explore our viability between all the decks from Justice Hunters, and of course explain how we're not only going to keep up with the current format, but absolutely destroy it moving forward. We also finally got the ban list at long last as well, so we can speak about that later, but first, I'm gonna pop some packs. Got 30 quid in my pocket. Wait, were you just checking me out? Oh, you like the t-shirt, yeah? Well, this episode is sponsored by Game UK. What if I said I got this t-shirt free with this box of Doom of Dimensions, and you can too. Game have been giving out free set exclusive t-shirts with booster boxes purchased from their website, and this one features K9 Noroi. I would have loved a Marshmallow Yummy t-shirt, but we already got Snatchy with Justice Hunters, so, you know, it's only fair to the K9 players that they get a t-shirt as well. My wardrobe at this point is like 50% game t-shirts, man. We've had Sky Striker, Ace Zero, Chibi, Blue Eyes, Dragon Master, Magia. It's always worth checking their website to see what drip they've got in stock. Also, they only print 300 of each shirt, and you can't get them anywhere else, so they're pretty special, you know? While this is exclusive to Game UK, they do offer overseas shipping to most countries, so you don't need to worry too much about it not being British. It'll just cost you a bit extra for shipping. Also, they all come in the same size, and that is UK large, so just be aware of that. But yeah, thanks again to Game UK for sponsoring this episode. Keep an eye out on their website for future releases. I'm sure you'll hear about them in our videos anyway. Now let's actually go crack some packs. Here we go, another 8 packs of Justice Hunters fresh from Thistle Tavern. £3.90 a pack, but we get a like 6 or 7% discount or something. Maybe it's 5%, I don't know. Brings a total just under £30. And of course, we're looking for trade bait in here. If we pull an Azuna, a Starlight Rare, we did pull the Collector's Rare Paradise Smasher. It was not worth that much. So hopefully we get a little bit better in these packs here. And there's an airplane right outside my window, so I'm gonna close that. All right, here we go. So literally everything we need is basically getting reprinted, whether that be Purge or Droplet or Fiendsmith cards. The only thing that's not getting reprinted, as far as I'm aware, is Magia. We basically want value to trade into a Magia. I believe a Magia Collector's Rare is like 30 quid. So we just need a good pool. We got a lot of trade bait in our binder already. So literally one good pool could probably get us the Magia. I know Reese has been trying to get rid of his Magia for ages, so maybe he'll part with it if we get something good. Let's see what we can get and add to the trade binder today, baby. All right, Polymerization. Got K9 Hound, Nash Knight, Metal Marcher, Paradise Smasher, Nash Knight, the other guy, and Key 2 Draco Tail. I've seen some people are actually playing Blue Eyes Draco Tail. I haven't looked into it myself. Maybe it's an option. Maybe we should actually look into that. But as of right now, Primite Blue Eyes is kind of popping off. Behemoth, the king of 100 battles. We got Durandal. You can actually like draw lock people with this. Wipe their whole hand basically. Gravity Controller, Lollipo. We got Forced Release here. All right, 2 for 2 on supers so far. All the Yummy Ultras are like £8-ish. All the Draco Tail Ultras are actually getting more expensive because more and more people are starting to like come around to Draco Tail as a good deck. Back for Patchwork, we got Poly, Metal Marcher, Super Rush Recklessly, Urgula, Nash Knight, and we have another Key 2 Draco Tail. Okay, we're popping off with the Key 2s, man. Gonna get our playset. People are also just playing this as a generic board breaker, like going second. Similar to Shaddoll Fusion, it's really, really strong, and it seems really, really fun. K9 Hound, we have Draco Tail Pan, Behemoth, Draco Tail Flame, Super Rush Recklessly, K9 Release Restraint. We have Ripper, I barely know her. Haha! Kill me. Urgula. We got Redemption, Edgimp Chain, Yummy Minion, Behemoth, King of the Swamp, and Yummy Redemption in Super Rare. We got the Super Rare upgrade. Let's go. Dude, I don't think we're going to pull anything here. That's so unfortunate. We got Release Restraint, the normal rare, the non-X version. Obedient Schooled, Cookie Yummy Wait. Dude, I love Yummy so much. King Kiri, we have Cross Sheep. Wait, Collector's Rare? Nope. Fright for Patchwork, we have Draco Tail. Mina, baby. Very nice. Okay, that's like a £12 Ultra. We're still negging, like we spent £30, so hopefully we pull something else. But, I mean, it's value. We'll take it. We'll take it. Towards the Magia, hopefully. Where art thou? We have Horn, Piri Rice map. We can play Piri Rice map, of course. Metal Marcher. Oh, want to playset of Where Art Thou, actually. Number 61, we got Lollipop Yummy Way and Yummy Surprise in Super Rare, taking us to our final pack of Justice Hunters. Please be something good. It is not a Starlight or a Collector's. We're hoping for a Yummy or a Draco Tail. Or a Zuna, actually. Prairie Rice map. We got King of the Swamp, Cross Sheep, Behemoth, Artifact Durandal, Acro Kiwi, and final card. Come on, Azuna, please. Whoa, Jokul. It's Jokul. Okay, well, our only real valuable pool here is the Mina. But we do have a Lollipop in the binder as well. Maybe we could get a Magia in like the next episode. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Not the greatest of openings, but we'll take it. We'll take it. The trade binder is once again slowly coming together. But let's talk about the format and how Blue Eyes actually got a little bit of a stealth buff moving forward. So Justice Hunters introduced K9, Yummy, and Draco Tail to the game, and immediately all three decks became and are currently top tier. The ban list at least changes that a tiny bit, but we'll get to that later. You see, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon has a secret effect that in modern times hasn't really been that relevant until now. Neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. Reading the card unlocks the secret effect. Isn't that wild? This one line of text that is so frequently forgotten about is actually super important now because it has the ability to blank so many cards in the current format. K9 variants are locked out of using not only Jokul, who special summons himself and another monster from hand, but also Lantern, who special summons itself and another monster from graveyard. They simply just can't activate these effects while Spirit is on the field, which can really hurt the quality of their hand. Similarly, against Yummy, their strongest starter is Obedient Schooled, which summons 3 monsters from deck. Of course, while Spirit is on the field, they just can't activate it, which makes their starting plays much easier to interrupt. Obviously, Obedient Schooled getting hit on the ban list makes this slightly less relevant, but a lot of their core extension and interruptions also involve summoning 2 monsters from the graveyard through their Synchro Monster effects. So if you're able to get Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon to stick and cut them off from a bunch of their options, then you probably win the game. It's not like we even have to do anything differently either, just the mere existence of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon on the field is applying a lot of pressure to these new decks. The real problem for us is Draco Tail. Urgula is an absolute menace that can just destroy our True Light and wipe our boards. All they have to do is resolve a fusion summon with something like Mina, and none of our interruptions can stop that. They can then just chain block the effect of Urgula so we can't even negate it with Spirit. And then because they have priority to respond to our mandatory effect of True Light in the graveyard, literally any quick effect in response means our board is just getting destroyed. So when it comes to figuring out the side deck, we're definitely gonna need to put a focus on beating Draco Tail. Now, circling back to K9, we have cards that activate in the hand and graveyard, so we need to be extra careful with how we sequence our combos thanks to K9 Azuna. So I've been theorying and solitaring all of our 1-card and 2-card combos into the idea of a live Azuna, while taking Nibiru into consideration as well, because we don't want to play around Azuna by playing into Nibiru, if that makes sense. And it's worth noting that a live Azuna gives our opponent access to a potential Book of Moon through Valon, a monster in hand or graveyard negate through Ripper, a monster negate in general through Vimana, a Typhon, which is kind of irrelevant against our deck, honestly, and a Nash Knight, which can attach one of our monsters as a material to itself. Overall, most of our combos sets up a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon early enough that we don't really have to care about the Azuna, because how Azuna works is it sends Lupus to the graveyard, and then Lupus can special summon itself from the graveyard, which we can just negate with the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. The only combos we do have to change in this matchup is a Lone Maiden by herself and a Lone Wishes. So I'll show you these two combos that we probably want to do moving forward and into the K9 matchup. Okay, so for the 1-card Wishes combo, I think we have to play this super low to the ground. You can make a much bigger board than I'm going to show you into something like Izuna, but then you lose a lot harder to Nibiru. So I think it's just safest to play around everything. And this is how that goes. So we are going to activate Wishes, discarding a random card from hand, or not random, but you know, just discarding a card from hand. We add Sage plus Roar. We then normal summon the Sage. Sage effect is going to grab us our Maiden. We'll activate Roar, summoning Blue Eyes from the deck. Then we will, of course, activate Wishes, equipping the Neo Ultimate to the Blue Eyes, and then simply just synchro these two into the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. So now, when we activate Maiden in hand, we can negate a Lupus in graveyard with Spirit Dragon if needed, and it's not going to really affect us at all. So we activate Maiden here, placing the True Light, and then we just go True Light to set, and that is going to be the Majesty, and that's it. 3 summons. We got the Spirit and the Majesty basically guaranteed, not having to worry about anything or, you know, overcomplicating our turn. We have Roar for a potential Blue Eyes Tyrant play on the next turn. Yeah, super easy and super simple. And for the 1-card Maiden combo, again, super low to the ground, playing around both Nibiru and potential Izunas. We start, of course, with the Maiden. So their Izuna is just always live. Maiden effect is going to place the True Light. We'll go True Light effect to set a Wishes, activate the Wishes, discarding a card from hand. We're adding a Sage and a Roar here. Unfortunately, we're not able to add the Majesty because of the threat of Izuna. If we add Majesty here and we have no further extension, Sage getting booked or stolen just means we end on absolutely nothing, except maybe a Effect Veiler. Majesty wouldn't even be live because we would then lose access to Blue Eyes Red Dragon. So yeah, we're forced to add Roar to extend through Izuna plays. We are just going to activate the Roar, summoning out the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and that is going to trigger Maiden in graveyard to summon herself. And with the threat of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon early, our opponent is forced to make their Izuna play. And if they're forced to interrupt us here, we're actually able to extend to the same end board we're going for anyway with the Sage that we have in hand. But yeah, assuming we go uninterrupted, we are going to activate the Wishes to equip the Neo to the Blue Eyes, and then we simply synchro summon these two into the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now we have Lupus in graveyard negated. Izuna is no longer a big threat. To finish off, we are going to normal summon Sage and get an Effect Veiler to hand. So we're ending on Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon and Effect Veiler. That is 4 summons and essentially plays around Izuna as well. So we're really taking our time to figure out the format, and it is going well. Now, before we commit to any cards in the side deck or main deck for these matchups, let's take it to locals once again and get in some more practice. Alright, here we go. We actually have a feature match with one of the Justice Hunters decks. We're up against Shamim on Yummy, and we lose the dice roll, so we're in a very bad position, but let's see how we get on. It's time to duel, baby. Let's go.
Good luck, have fun.
Game 1 here, Shamim is going first, and he starts off with a Cupsy Yummy, normal summon Cupsy Wupsy, and of course that is full combo, and we have no hand traps, so we're kind of cooked, honestly. He links into Snatchy. Snatchy places the Minion field spell. He activates the effect of the field spell to summon back the Cupsy, and then he's already added Surprise off of the Cupsy, so he doesn't need to activate it this time. He synchros into the Cupsy Yummy Way, adding the 2 other names to hand, and I believe he discards a Gamma, which is spooky. From here, he special summons the Cookie he just added, links the Cupsy Yummy Way into another copy of Snatchy, and then proceeds to synchro summon both of those into a Lollipo Yummy Way. So if we had a Nibiru, we could potentially punish him hard with this line, but yeah, we don't, so, you know, never punished. He summons back the Cupsy and the Cookie with the effect of Lollipo, and then special summons the main deck Lollipo from hand as well. He synchros the Cupsy and the Lollipo synchro into Metal Marcher. Metal Marcher is going to summon back a tuner from the graveyard, of course summoning back one of the synchro monsters, and then the Marcher and the other level 1 is getting synchroed into the Omni Negate, Herald of the Arclight. A third copy of Yummy Snatchy comes down, and then he proceeds to set 2 cards and pass turn. So essentially just full yummy combo. I know our hand 100% loses to this, but you know, you gotta play it out and hope your opponent makes some mistakes because, you know, it happens frequently at locals. But yeah, we normal summon Barrel, activate the effect because if we just go into the battle phase to beat over the Herald, it gets booked by Cookie. Barrel gets impermed, so we then link into our Link 1 and activate the effect to add the field spell and get hit by an effect Veiler as well. We go Talents to take, which basically forces out the Herald negate, allowing us to then attempt to push with Wishes for Eyes of Blue. If it resolves, we might be okay, but
What train to you at?
what the fuck? Yeah, 3 hand traps on top of full yummy board just isn't possible to break through with just our engine. Our last push is to go for a Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, so we activate the effect of Sage in hand, targeting our Link 1 to send it to the graveyard and summon a Blue Eyes from the deck. Shamim chains Snatchy to synchro summon into the Cookie synchro, which on resolution is just going to book our Blue Eyes. Passing turn, Shamim activates Surprise, summoning back Cupsy, who on summon adds another copy of Surprise to the hand. If he had reborn a Snatchy, he could have got another body off of the field spell. He maybe forgot he went through all 3 Snatchy though. But yeah, he just goes to the battle phase, kills Blue Eyes with Cookie, and then punches us for 1,000. Main phase 2, normal summons Fuwalos, links into the Almirage, and then links the Almirage and the Cupsy into an SP Little Knight. And effect is going to target our Barrel and Graveyard to banish it so we don't get the recursion. I think at this point the only push that could possibly get us back in this is like a Sage. We probably shouldn't have discarded the extra Sage in the last turn. We should have discarded whatever cards in hand. But we draw for turn. You know, playing it out to the very end, we go main phase, normal summon another copy of Barrel, and we activate the effect, which prompts a response from Cookie, summoning back the, I think that's the Lollipo synchro, and the Cookie. I can't tell because it's blurred on my screen. But yeah, we're going to get a Lordly Load set to our side of the field, and on resolution, Cookie is going to activate target in Barrel to destroy it, leaving us to activate Lordly Load, chaining the synchro monster to tag out into a Snatchy and a Lollipo. We're going to add a Drill Beam to the hand off of the effect of Lordly Load. Then on resolution, Lollipo is going to banish our other Barrel, so really targeting the Primite engine here. We do still have a couple of Hail Marys to throw. We activate Lordly Load to summon from deck, and Shamim chains the effect of Snatchy to synchro summon once again into the Cookie Yummy Way. We summon our Blue Eyes, and on resolution, Cookie is going to book the Blue Eyes. We chain Drill Beam in hand, targeting the field spell. Any chance of survival comes down to Shamim forgetting he can dodge this with Surprise, but he does catch it, and that's GG. Game 2, we're getting to go first, and you know that feeling where you're confident, you draw your starting 5, and you see 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon in your opening hand, man. It feels so bad. Our hand is ass. We start with a copy of Lordly Load, adding Barrel, normal summon Barrel, activate the effect, attempting to bait out an interruption. It does resolve. We have Drill Beam in hand, so we have to set another copy of Lordly Load. If we played the Primite Counter Trap, it actually would have been really good here. But yeah, we link into the Link 1, activate the effect, and it gets hit with a Purge, which is fine with us because we weren't going to be able to extend with it anyway. Lordly Load summons a Blue Eyes from the hand. Thank God it can do that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Spheres pass, although we do set Drill Beam as well, so, you know, it's a little bit better. It's an FTK +1, let's go. But, yeah, I'm not feeling too confident anymore with our opening hand here. Passing it over to Shamim, he starts with an Imperm on Spheres. Okay, that's one of our interruptions dealt with. We literally have just Drill Beam left. But he normal summons Ghost Ogre. This is either the biggest brain bait to then follow up with Obedient Schooled, or a super desperate play where he only has normal summons, so we just have to Drill Beam the Ghost Ogre here, revealing our other Blue Eyes from hand. As long as he can't get a Link 1 to stick on the board, he shouldn't be able to extend, and right enough he attempts to pass turn, so in the end phase we just activate our Spheres effect. Of course the bounces negate it, however, when it's tributed it can summon a dragon from the deck, and that's going to be our Neo Kaiser Seahorse to get into the Blue Eyes engine. Back over to us, we draw for turn. In the standby phase, Barrel comes back to hand because we have a Blue Eyes in the graveyard, and then Shamim just scoops him up right there, 2 Lollipo and a field spell in hand. Alright, game 3, Yummy going first. This could go either way, man. We have non-engine, but we don't really have any hand traps. Shamim starts with Obedient Schooled, so out comes the gang, 1, 2, 3. It's a pretty good start, so we're going to have a pretty hefty board to deal with. He links the Cupsy into Snatchy, placing the, I think that's the Minion? Yeah, Minion. And then activates a field spell effect targeting Cupsy and Grave. We try to chain the Magnamut, but that gets hit with a Ghost Bell, so our one hand trap gets stopped. He does also chain the Snatchy effect to synchro summon into the Cupsy Yummy Way, so on resolution, they're going to go Chainlink 1 Cupsy Synchro and Chainlink 2 Cupsy main deck monster, and this plays around Droll, even though you only search twice anyway. He grabs the Surprise, and then off of the Cupsy Synchro, he adds another Cupsy and a Lollipo, and I don't know what he discards. I think he maybe discards the Cupsy, one of the names that he added. But yeah, moving on from there, he special summons the Cookie from hand, and then synchros the Lollipo and the Cupsy Synchro into the Starham. And the reason he's doing this is to set up a Herald first action on my turn. So Starham discards another card, summons back the Lollipo. That's going to be treated as a tuner, a level 1 tuner. He links his Cookie into another copy of Snatchy, and then proceeds to synchro summon the Snatchy and the Cupsy into a Lollipo. And Lollipo is, of course, going to summon 2 from grave. He opts to go for 2 Cookies, and then links into a 3rd copy of Snatchy. So he's pretty much got everything on board that he could ask for. On top of that, he sets his Surprise and a Mystery additional card as well before passing turn. Over to us, we're about to dish out a masterclass in cleaning up shop. So we draw for turn, and our first action in the main phase is a Harpy's Feather Duster. This forces out the Surprise. He's going to activate the effect to add the field spell back to his hand. Then he's going to chain Snatchy to synchro the Starham and the Lollipo into the Herald of Arclight. The chain resolves, and I think the additional set was an Imperm. It's a trap card. It could be a Purge, but I'm pretty sure it's an Imperm. But from there, we go Super Poly, which just deals with this entire field, man. We fuse the 2 Yummy monsters, the Synchro monster and the Link monster, to summon Garura, which can then just beat over the Herald. So we've essentially cleared every threatening monster with 1 card, plus a discard technically. We discarded the Drill Beam, but still in the battle phase we go Magna. I think we target the Lollipo Synchro to banish it, and Magna effect on summon, of course, we get an add in the end phase, and then clear the Cookie as well. Man went from a full Yummy board to absolutely nothing in 3 cards. Now we just need to set up in main phase 2, so we fire off a Lordly Load adding Barrel, normal summon Barrel, no effect because Drill Beam's in Graveyard, so we activate the effect of Drill Beam in Grave to reset itself. And then we link into our Link 1, grabbing a copy of the field spell, Mausoleum. We're saying it right this time. Activate Mausoleum, effect target in the Link 1, doesn't really matter. We dump a Blue Eyes to the graveyard, and then use our additional normal summon on a Sage. Sage is going to grab a copy of Maiden as well. I am trying to be mindful of Nibiru, but Yummy doesn't really play Nibiru, so we should just be fine either way. We activate the effect of Maiden to place True Light, Link 1 effect to summon back the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and of course the Maiden as well. We're going to immediately synchro summon those 2 into the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, which, like we discussed in this video, applies a lot of pressure, turns off a lot of cards. And then we link the Sage into another copy of the Link 1, and link the Link 1 with the Magnamut into a copy of Spheres. So we have full Blue Eyes board on top of clearing a full Yummy board, which is sick. In the end phase, we add a Druis Worm off the effect of Magnamut, but I do forget to activate True Light to set the Majesty Trap.
Hail Mary, obedience school.
You can't because of Spirit. What? Secret effect. You can't summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. So obviously the second Obedience Schooled signals that this locals was before the ban list, but the interaction coming up with Blue Eyes Spirit and Obedience Schooled made me so happy. That was also just such a clean game 3, like, we destroyed that, man. But yeah, that was round 1. Round 2, we played against Onomat Ryziel, and our opponent just kind of, like, bricked both games. So, a swift win there. Round 3, we played against Walker on Branded again. He made a huge mistake and missed lethal in game 3, allowing us to then just get game on the spot next turn with a Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. And then round 4, we played against Thomas on Mitsurugi Testina, and we won that one as well. So 4-0, that's another first place finish, man. We've won 3 events in a row with Blue Eyes Prima, including the giant card at Liverpool. So we are killing it right now. Currently on a 14 win streak. When will it end? Somebody stop me. Well, what can I say, bro? Blue Eyes, or specifically Primite Blue Eyes, still just too strong for locals. Undefeated for so long. I think we're 14-0 right now in the last 14 matches. I haven't seen anyone pull the Blue Eyes at locals in a long time, so I feel like it's still out there, bro. It's still out there waiting to be pulled. All right, so 5 packs for our prize packs here. We have Dracotail Pan, Behemoth, King of the Swamp, Dracotail Flame, Super Rush Recklessly, we got Overlay Booster, and a Key to Dracotail. Okay, we pulled 2 earlier on in the episode. That's a playset in 1 episode of Key to Dracotail. Still undecided if we like actually want to try Blue Eyes Dracotail, but we'll see what we end up doing. There's a lot to experiment with, of course. Draco Tilhorn, we got Pure Map, Metal Marcher. Still hoping to pull a couple more Where Art Thou's because that's a card we can play and it bridges some of our engines together. Lollipo, we have Canine Hound, and we have another Ripper. Ripper, I barely know her. Come on, Justice Hunters, you've not been too great to us today. Let's get something, all right? Kinkiri, we got Jack in the Hand, Yummy Redemption, Millenniumizer Strict, very cool card. Cubs the Yummy Way, we have Where Art Thou, very, very nice. And finally, K9X Forced Release. Okay, well, unfortunately, you know how it goes. Coming first, you never pull anything good. It's always last place that pulls like the ulti and things like that. Let's see what we get in our OTS packs today. We have Thestalos the Mega Monarch. It's not an ultimate rare. Number 18, Heraldry Patriarch, and Crystron Token. Yo, is that Tristeros? Final pack, come on, Blue Eyes, White Dragon, and you know, we gotta play that shit, bro. We have, oh, Fish. Funny cards. A Chi-Chi at Ignister, and it's not an ultimate rare, dude. It is a super rare Haggard Lizardos. First place, pool dog shit. It's just written in the stars, man. Good episode, I guess. Damn, bro. If only we ended on a banger.